So the beginning of the movie, it opens up with a scene where, also, if you haven't watched the movie, like I said, don't watch the movie, but if for some reason you want to watch the movie, I'm going to be saying spoilers of the movie, so if you don't want to watch this video and have spoilers, don't watch the video. Also, don't watch the movie, but if you're going to watch the movie, don't watch the movie, but if you're going to, I'm going to spoil the movie, so just a heads up. You're kidnapped! How do you like being kidnapped? I don't understand. Do not watch this movie. I'm begging you, please don't watch it. It's not worth your time. You're gonna be disgusted. And if you find pleasure in this movie, seek help. Seek some help. Hi, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the infamous movie on Netflix, the talk of the century. Well, not the century, the talk of the past 2 weeks on TikTok, on Netflix, just everywhere. 365 Days. We're gonna talk about the movie, everything that's wrong with it. There's nothing right with it, so let's just get right into it. First of all, if you haven't seen the movie, don't see the movie. I'm also going to be saying some keywords, so I'm going to be saying corn for future monetization reasons. Corn and pornography. If you don't know what I mean when I say that, then you're too young to watch this video and please click off. If you are my little cousins, please click off this video. You are not old enough to watch this video, and if you're still watching at this time, I'm telling your uncle. Alright, anyway. I'm telling my uncle because that's your dad. Anyway, moving on. This guy finds a girl and he's in love with her, but he wants to have her fall in love with him, right? Sounds cute so far. But the way how he makes her fall in love with him is, I don't even know the word for it. It's just not normal. He falls in love with this woman and he decides, hey, I'm going to kidnap you and give you 365 days to fall in love with me. And if you don't fall in love with me, I'll let you go. So that's the movie. So first of all, the simple fact that he kidnaps her because he's in love with her. Pardon? Huh? That in itself, it's like, why do you think it is okay to kidnap someone just because you love them or have feelings for them, and then you give them a year to fall in love with you? I'm gonna give you a year, and if you don't, then I'll let you go. How are you supposed to like fall in love with someone that's kidnapped you? I mean, it does happen. There's a term for it. I forgot what the term is, but I'll put it on the screen somewhere if I find it. But that's like twisted, that's borderline crazy. I saw it on TikTok. There's so many people talking about the movie, about there's a famous boat scene and how the boat scene, how it happened and how people wanted their reactions, stuff like that. People kept on talking about it on TikTok. I saw like at least 6 or 7 videos on it. And I'm like, what is this scene? What is this movie? What are people talking about? So I decided to get my friend just to watch it with me. I thank God. If I was watching it alone, I would have stopped watching it, honestly, because it was too much. But I had my friend watch it with me and we were on Skype together watching it. And boy, oh boy, it was not what I was expecting at all. Like, at all. So the beginning of the movie, it opens up with a scene where, also, if you haven't watched the movie, like I said, don't watch the movie, but if for some reason you want to watch the movie, I'm going to be saying spoilers of the movie, so if you don't want to watch this video and have spoilers, don't watch the video. Also, don't watch the movie, but if you're going to watch the movie, don't watch the movie, but if you're going to, I'm going to spoil the movie, so just a heads up. The beginning of the movie is this father and son. They're in a business meeting and they're talking about having a business, which, by the way, we never know what the business is. Throughout the entire movie, we never know what the business is. Like, it's assumed that they're in the mafia because they're Italians talking about sketchy business. People are trying to sell something to the father and son. So they talk about how they want to sell children. There's trafficking, basically. And the guy says, oh, they're beautiful people, like they're beautiful like girls, and like some of them, most of them, they're barely 12 years old. That's already a red flag. And then the father's like, oh, we don't do that type of business, like, I don't know who you think we are, but we don't do that. And then the father basically turns down the deal. So then the father goes to his son who's looking in the distance, and mind you, also the setting, they're on the roof of a building having a meeting. The father goes to the son. He's just talking about how his son needs to settle down and he needs to stop being so lustful and so trying to be so sexual with women. Just like settle down, and one day you're gonna have to run this business, meaning the business that the father runs. First of all, we We don't know the son. We don't know him as a person and why that father said what he said. Like, that, in my opinion, was straight up info dumping. And if you don't know what info dumping is, it's basically when the writer of the screenplay for the movie just gives out information about a person without showing it. Like, we could just see that with the son sleeping with multiple women, like having multiple, like a time frame, seeing him sleep with different women a lot to show that he's like a womanizer. But instead of showing us that, we just get told it. So that's info dumping. So the first 5 minutes of the movie, we're already info dumping. So then after the info dumping just happened, the father gets shot. I think because he turned down the business deal and the people didn't like that he turned down the business deal, so then he just got shot. Now, I don't know how many times the father got shot, so if I'm wrong, I'll mention it when I'm editing it. The way how the father and son are talking, the son is here and the father is here. And the father basically is covering the son. So the father gets shot in the back. It goes through the father into the son. So the father's getting shot and then the blood is like splatting all over the son, and it's just a mess. So then basically the father's down, the son's down, they both were shot, and then that's the beginning of the scene. I forgot to mention it, but the reason why I mentioned the father getting shot in the scene was that when the son talks about how his father was shot, he said that his father was shot in the heart. But then in the scene, you see that the son was shot when it went through the father to the son was shot in the stomach. So how was it possible that the father was shot in the heart, but it hit the son in his stomach? And the father wasn't that much shorter than the son, so it didn't make sense that it hit the father in the heart and it hit the son in the stomach. Like, it wasn't angled to do that, so like it didn't make any sense. That was the whole point of me mentioning that part. Okay, back to the video. So another example of info dumping, mind you, this is like the first like 10-15 minutes of the movie. When it comes to the timeline of the movie, we don't know how much time has passed until the characters say it. There's no like 2010 and then 2015 in any corners of the movie at all. The timeline is so unclear. Oh, the laundry, hold on. The son survived the shooting, the father died, and then now the son runs the business. So the son is in the airplane. 5 years passed, by the way. We don't know the years have passed until the son deliberately says 5 years ago when my father was shot. And I'm like, how are we supposed to know 5 years passed if the person didn't say it? Like, it's not like an Endgame when they showed 5 years later. It just, the next scene just happened like nothing. And I'm just like, how am I supposed to know time passed if they didn't say it? Now the son is the head of the business and he's also the main character of this movie. He's one of the main characters. So the son is basically, we see an example of how lustful he is with the airplane scene. I don't know if this is assault or not, but it wasn't consensual in any way. The son just went to the pilot attendee, who was female, closed the curtain. There's, mind you, there's people in the airplane. There's two other guys in the plane. There's a person, it's a private jet. So there's a person, the pilot's flying the plane, the pilot attendee, and then the three guys. So the son closed the curtain and then just makes the pilot attendee just suck on the eggplant. That's all I'm gonna say. I forgot her name, but I'm gonna just say the girl. We now see a scene. There's also a moment in the movie where we see two scenes of a movie. Hello? Two scenes of business meeting. And it's the guy in his business meeting and the girl in her business meeting. Now they go back and forth. Now you would think the meetings has something to do with each other because the guy's meeting is him talking about how he wants money from someone, and then the girl's meeting is talking about how her company lost money to someone. So you think that they're aligned and like they're the same meeting that they were talking about. But to be completely honest, I don't think that was the case. I think they were just trying to introduce the character, the female character, and just show that she's a person. We also don't know what her job is. We don't know who like really she is. I think her name was Anna or something. I don't know, something like that. We don't know what she does as a job either. We just know that she's in the business industry, like she does a business meeting with some sort. So that's all we know about her. It goes back and forth between the guys meeting and the girls meeting, and I'm guessing they did this to show that like at some point in the movie they're gonna meet each other. And then it went from the two business meetings to then the guy getting on the plane and having the pilot suck the eggplant, and the girl going home to her boyfriend, and she wants to have with her boyfriend, but then he's like, oh, like give me 30 minutes because he's like doing something. So instead of waiting for 30 minutes, she just gets a toy and just does it herself. It was so much, all in the span. I think this is the first 20 minutes of the film. The girl's at a party, it's her birthday. She's hanging out with her boyfriend and her friend, a few other like people that he invited or something. They go travel. There's a scene where the girl, she slept extra for a night and then she woke up late the next day. So she asks her boyfriend, oh, why didn't you wake me up? And then he says something and he's like, oh, you were sleeping like a log, so I didn't want to like bother you. And then he gave her something and she took the gift and then pushed him in the pool and then walked away. So I'm thinking like it's a joke. Like, oh, haha, you call me a log, so I'm gonna just push you in the pool for fun. But it turns out she was genuinely mad. Now, I completely don't know what happened in that scene for her to push him in the pool and be mad and walk away. So now she's all upset. She's like gazing into the sunset. Like it was like earlier in the day in the pool scene. Then it goes to nighttime in the span of 2 seconds. And then she's like, she looks lost, like she has no purpose in life. And then she's walking somewhere. I don't know where she's walking, but she's walking somewhere from her view. And then the guy pops up. There are 2 lines this guy says like at least 3 times in the movie. The first line is,
"Are you lost, baby girl?"
when he said that line, I literally gagged. You just see someone for the first time. They're walking, minding their own business, and you ask them, are they lost? He asked her that, and then I think she said no, or I forgot what she said, but she continues walking, turns around, he's gone. She keeps on walking. So now it's like nighttime and she's walking the street by herself because she's still mad about what her boyfriend did or something. So then she's walking the street, a car pulls up. A car like turns on its like lights and she gets kidnapped. So when she wakes up, she gets kidnapped and then she wakes up in a bed. She's not tied up, chained, nothing. She's like literally just laying in the bed peacefully. In the room that she's in, there is a picture of her on the wall as a poster. It's huge. She's all confused, like, where am I? What's going on? Like, what's happening? Quick correction, the girl's name wasn't Anna. That was another character in the movie, but we'll get to that in a later room. But yeah, so basically the girl sees a picture of herself in someone's home. She's freaked out, as are we, like, oh, so this guy must be obsessed with her, must know her from somewhere. She is like trying to get out of the house and he pops up again and says the line,
"Are you lost, baby girl?"
I don't understand why he had to say that 3 separate times. Now, there's a term, I forgot what the term is. I'm such a bad film student, but anyway, there's a term where a character says a line 2 separate times in a movie and it has different meanings for each time. I forgot the term, but I'll put it up if I find it. That wasn't what this movie was doing. He just said it 3 times just to say it. Back in the beginning of the first scene when his father gets shot, he says that when he was shot, he thought he was gonna die and he saw a woman. And he said the woman that he saw was her. I don't know how he just imagined a random woman in his head. He didn't say he saw her from anywhere and then that he was reminded of her when he was about to die, when he thought he was gonna die. He just said he saw her and then he said he knew he had to find her. That was it. And it took him 5 years to find her. She's sitting on a seat, I think. He goes and tells her,
"I won't do anything without your permission."
And this is the second line that he says like 3 times in the movie. Don't provoke me. Now, as he's telling her, I'm not going to do anything without your permission, he's literally on her. And his fingers are getting touchy without her permission. So that's assault. She's just sitting there in the chair, scared because she was kidnapped. And he's like, I won't assault you, but don't provoke me to assault you. This movie is the prime example of when guys will say she wanted it, but she liked it, but she didn't say no. Because she didn't say no, and just because someone doesn't say no, it doesn't mean a yes. If someone doesn't say yes, that means no. And if they say yes and change their mind and say no, it means no. There's no excuse for sexual assault. There's no excuse. We know her as a businesswoman and she gets kidnapped. She asks for her phone and laptop 3 separate times and then when she's first kidnapped. So he finally gives it to her. She calls her mom and instead of telling her mom that she's kidnapped, that she needs help, she tells her mom, hey, I got this business job for like a year, the contract's for a year, everything's fine, like I'm good, like I'm living in this mansion, it's nice and beautiful and all that stuff. I like it here. Now, you may be thinking, oh, was he around? Like, did he have, like, cameras, like, looking, like, surveilling her? No one was around her to hear her talking to her mom. It's not like as if it was bugged and, like, she knew it was bugged and she was giving a code. She was literally telling her mom, hey, I'm fine. I like it here. You're kidnapped! How do you like being kidnapped? I don't understand. And it's not like the movies where she pretends to be okay with it so she can escape. She genuinely is okay with it because she just stays. whenever he goes out to business meetings or he's going out, he's like, you're gonna come with me, we're gonna go somewhere. He's like basically going shopping. So she's taking advantage of the fact that he has money. She goes to different stores, makes him run his credit card, like make his pockets hurt. Like she was doing that. But she's in a store and then she's buying lingerie. And he just pops up in the house, not in the house, in the dressing room. Just comes up without asking, not knocking, like, oh, hey, I'm coming in. He just walks in. And she's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, get out of here. So then he's like, oh, well, I could come in here whenever I want. And then she's like, oh, well, you're not gonna be seeing me wearing this that often and you don't get out of here. And he's like, I do whatever I want. Also, when he's saying this to her, he like grabs her neck and is like pushing against her on the wall. It's assault. You are holding her by the neck and pressing against her. She's able to still breathe, but like you're holding her neck and putting pressure on it, on her. And then he's like, I can do whatever I want. Like I could do whatever I want to you. Don't provoke me. So the fact that she was thinking about getting lingerie, that's provoking her. So now she walks out of the store. She sees two officers and then she's like, help, help, I've been kidnapped. Can you help me? And they're looking at her like, y'all hear something? I hear none. What? They act like they don't hear her. And then the guy comes up and then they talk to him. I think they talk to him in a different language. So then they walk away because basically he knows them and they weren't gonna do anything about it. So then this is when he says it. Are you lost, baby girl? You know she not lost. Why are you asking her that question? Why are you saying this line? She doesn't make an attempt to leave after that. Like she just stays. She doesn't try to escape again. Now she's just thinking, I'm gonna play the game of teasing him to like make him want me. And then when he's ready to have with me, I'm like, you can't do that. I think the reason why she's doing that is so that way he gets so annoyed with having her that he just lets her go. Like, all right, I can't do this anymore. Like, you're free. She wakes up in the bed. He's sleeping right next to her. Instead of being like, hey, what are you doing in the bed next to me? Like, I didn't agree to this. She decides to get up and there's a shower in the same room. When she gets up, he wakes up because he feels her moving off the bed. When he feels her getting off the bed, he looks at her to see what she's about to do. So I think she's wearing like a nightgown or a dress or something because she just undresses and goes to take a shower. The doors are glass, so obviously she's going to shower in front of him on purpose. So he gets up and he's like, oh, okay. He gets up, gets undressed, and he goes to shower too. Goes towards her, and then she just like, so this, wow, my throat. As she's walking away from him, he just grabs her neck and just goes, come back here, and just forces her to kiss him. I knew the scene was gonna happen and I still jumped because it was just so like, it happened so quick. It was like, boom, like I'm just like, whoa, what the heck? What's happening? What's going, what? Whoa, backtrack, whoa. He was just like, oh, like, don't provoke me, like, don't do that. And he was mad that, like, basically she, like, intimidated him. And then that was it. That's the scene. I think she tried to provoke him again, or they just got into an argument basically, and they're getting into an argument and then they're pushing each other. So he pushes her off the boat. Like he pushes her too far and she flips off the boat. Also, just to throw it in there, the way how she fell in the pool, you can tell there was a mannequin. She didn't bend when she fell, she like flipped. Her body was stiff when she went into the ocean. And then he's like, oh snap, like I pushed her. And then he goes to save her. He was the one that pushed her in. And he goes to save her because, oh, I pushed her in the ocean, I should go save her, because that's just the right thing to do. Even though you're a kidnapper and you're a sexual assaulter and there's a regular assaulter, but we're not gonna get into that. He decides to have morals for one to be like, oh, I need to go save her because I love her, or yada yada. So he goes and he saves her, takes her out the ocean, and, you know, helps her be able to breathe again. So because he did that, her mind just magically changes and she's like, oh my goodness, like he saved me. He could have let me die, but he didn't. I mean, he could have let her die. It would have been wrong because he was the reason why she was in the ocean in the first place, and the reason why she's on the boat because he kidnapped her. But because he saved her life, now all of a sudden she's head over heels. Now she's like, okay, we can have sex now. So then they just have sex multiple times, different areas of the boat. So now she's fallen into his trap and she is now falling for him. Okay, hi, Editing Ananda here. So this video is extremely long, so I'm going to just cut to the last scene, but I'm gonna fill you guys in on what I was talking about earlier. So basically I talked about how girl Anna that I mentioned earlier that I felt was the main character's name but it's not her name. There's a girl named Anna that the guy used to date. That's the guy's ex. And when they went, the next scene after the boat scene was them at a ball, and at the ball they met the girl named Anna, which is the guy's ex, and then the ex came up to the guy and the girl and was like, oh look, we found the girl. Like everyone knew that the guy was looking for this girl that he was in love with for the past 5 years. So when she saw him, she was like, oh, you found the girl that you wanted to find. And then she pulls him to the side and goes, oh, I'm gonna kill her because you killed someone that I loved. And we don't know who she was talking about killing someone that she loved. We don't know who she's talking about. Like that wasn't ever explained. So she says she's gonna kill Anna because she knows that he is in love with Anna, so she's gonna get revenge on him by killing her. And then after that, then the girl's like, oh, what did she say? And he's like, oh, she said she wanted to kill you. And he claims he's gonna handle the situation. So then he handles it. We don't know how he handled it. We don't know if Anna's dead or not. So then it goes from that scene to her going home. Claims that she wanted to go home to visit her family, but she never mentioned that in the movie at all. There was no scene where she was like, oh, I want to go home. She never said that. So he was like, hey, I'm gonna send you home to go home, see your family for a few days, and you know, I'll meet you there later. So then something comes up where while she's on the way to the airport, so then the assistant that's with her in the car has to leave the car and go with the guy. They have to deal with something while she goes to visit her family. She sees her best friend, tells her best friend what happened about her getting kidnapped and everything, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so messed up, like I can't believe I fell in love with a kidnapper. So then she's like, oh, let's go to the spa, let's get a makeover, let's have fun. So they go to the spa, they get massages, they get haircuts, and the girl gets a new hairdo. It goes from her having her medium length brown hair to her having a blonde ugly wig with like the roots. It was a bad cut and you could tell it was bad wig, but she gets a new hairdo and then she goes to the club, and then her best friend, there's a guy that wants to sleep with her, so then she goes up with the guy. So then girl is now at the club by herself and meets the ex, the boyfriend in the beginning of the movie. They meet up again and then he's trying to apologize to her. And also I didn't mention earlier that when she was originally kidnapped and she was in the guy's house, the guy showed her a picture of her boyfriend having sex with someone else. So it was initiated that he cheated on her, and that's like a reason to like not want to get back with him and all that stuff. So now she's like, oh, you cheated on me, and he's like, oh, like I'm so sorry I cheated on you, I can't believe I did that, but like I think I was drugged, like I had one shot or something and I don't remember anything else, I completely blacked out. So basically it's issued that he cheated on her, but he believes that someone drugged him to have him cheat on her. So then it's associated that the guy who kidnapped the girl was responsible for him being drugged and him cheating, because like how else did you know that he would cheat on her? Like, you know, it didn't make any sense. So then the guy, the ex, follows the girl to her apartment, which also he gave her an apartment so that way he could stay, so she could stay at her home country for her to visit family. So he follows her to the apartment, and then when she opens the door, the guy's just there, just sitting there on the couch in the dark, chilling, waiting for her to come home. So then the ex leaves, then they talk about it, and then basically she confesses like, oh hey, I don't need the whole year to fall in love with you because I'm already in love with you. And then he's like, oh my god, it's like really they're getting love with me? She's like, yeah. And then they're like, okay, we're gonna get married. And then they agree to get married, and then she's like, oh, you have to meet my parents, but you can't tell them what your job really is. He tells them anyway, but then they think he's joking, so like haha, laughing it off. So he met the parents, they already proposed, like he already like gave her a ring, so now they're gonna get married. So now she went back to Italy with him, and she's like, oh hey, like I want my best friend to come over because like they're gonna get married soon, so she wants her best friend to be there. So she invites the friend to come over to Italy. So also in the scene when she's talking about how she wants her best friend to come, there's a guy that works for her future husband, and he's like kind of upset that like they're getting married, because also in the movie, which the guy never mentioned, the girl was kind of upset when she was venting to her best friend. She's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I fell in love with the person that kidnapped me. But she was more worried about the fact that I don't think he's gonna marry me because I'm a foreigner, because he's Italian but she's not. I don't know what race she is, but she's not Italian, and for some reason the mafia that he's with doesn't like to date foreigners or marry foreigners. So she was worried that he was gonna marry her because she's a foreigner, not the fact that he was kidnapped. Like, you know, like she was worried about the wrong, but he didn't care. He's like, I'm gonna marry you anyway. So the guy was like mentioning how like, you know, you're a foreigner, like I don't want you causing me trouble. And then she's like, oh, well, I'm bringing my best friend, and he's like, I hope she isn't like more trouble than you are. So then the best friend comes to Italy, they're exploring the town, haha, and then they're going wedding shopping, and then they're going to buy the dresses for the wedding. So that was all the information that I said. It took me like a long time to explain it in the video, but I decided to cut it because this video is really long. So now we're caught up to speed, so that's the video. Oh, and just another thing to drop in. She's pregnant. She wants to keep the baby, and she wants to marry him. So then the best friends at first, she's like, oh, like you just met him 2 months ago. How are you gonna be marrying this man? Like, you barely even know him. He kidnapped you and all this sort of stuff. Basically having common sense. Hey, this kid is not right for you to be marrying because like, you literally just met him 2 months ago, kidnapped you. But then she's like, I want to keep the baby and I want to marry him. And she's like, all right. So then she's like accepting of it. She's like, whatever. The girl's going wedding dress shopping. She finds the dress that she wants. And she's like, oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. So she is in the car. Her and her best friend are in the car, and they're driving. They're driving. I'm guessing to go back home. She calls him and then she's like, hey, I have something to tell you. I want to tell you in person. There's an older guy that works with the guy, the main character, and that was the same guy that told the girl like, oh, that I hope you don't cause problems because you know you're a foreigner. Someone, we don't know who, someone calls him and goes, they're going to kill her. Early in the movie, Anna was like, I'm gonna kill her because you killed someone that I love. Now I'm gonna kill her because you love her. So now we're assuming, oh, Anna's coming to get her because you know she's getting her revenge. So she's going in the car. Mind you, it's her, the best friend, I think the assistant's in the car as well, and then the driver. And they're driving into a tunnel and they don't come out. Someone knew that they were going in that direction, that route, and basically killed her. I'm assuming the assistant and the best friend also died because Mafia doesn't want witnesses. So the girl dies, and the way how this movie ends is the guy, when the old man gets the call, he tells the driver, drive faster, let's go, we have to go, we have to tell him, we have to warn him. So he gets out the car and the old man's just running. He's running the fastest way he can because he looks like he's like at least 60 something years old. So he runs the guy, but he tries to call the guy, but the guy's on the phone with the girl when she's saying, hey, like, let's have dinner and I want to tell you something in person. So he's already on the phone. So as he's trying to, like, the old man's trying to call the guy, but the guy's already on the phone, so he can't get in touch with him. So now he's like trying to drive hurry to get to his house, and then when he runs out the car to run to the guy, and then the guy's on the phone with the girl still, and then the connection cuts off. And then the old man is running up to him, and the guy turns around and sees the old man. And the old man just looks at him and then just shrugs his shoulders, and then the guy just knew. He just knew the girl died. No words were said. It's not like as if the old man called him and he left a voicemail and then the guy heard it and was scared now. Like, he was on the phone with the girl, and then I think because the phone call ended and then seeing that the guy was like, that gave him the sign that the girl died. So then he just falls on his knees and he's just sad, and then there's like cops coming to the scene, and then that was it. The girl falls in love with him, she's gonna marry him, and she's pregnant, and then she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna commit to him, and she dies. So that was the entire movie. Moral of the story, this movie sucks. It's so bad. There's so many plot holes, info dumping. The only good thing of the movie was the cinematography, because like it was good quality, and like the angles were basic, like wide angle, like master. It was basic like film, and then like the editing was pretty, like it was pretty decent. So that was the movie. I don't know how this video is gonna be because I was talking for like I think at least an hour. Do not watch this movie. I'm begging you, please don't watch it. It's not worth your time. You're gonna be disgusted, and if you find pleasure in this movie, seek help. Seek some help. But yeah, so I'm gonna stop talking because this video is very long. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna be making more videos like this where I critique movies and TV shows, and I hope you guys enjoy it because I'm a film person. I love watching movies and TV shows and talking about them. So I'm gonna make videos about it and hope you guys enjoy. So if you guys did, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button and press the subscribe button because a good 50% of y'all are not subscribed to my channel. So if you're watching my videos, you might as well subscribe, and subscribe to this channel because I had an old channel before, but I had to delete it thanks to YouTube and Google. So I had to start a new channel, which is this channel. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and you would know if you're subscribed if the subscribe button is red. That means you're not subscribed. So hit it so it could be gray. I'm going to make a schedule. I hope I can follow through with it with the summer, and I'm about to work soon. So hopefully I can follow through with it, but I'm gonna try to post twice a week. I'm gonna try to post twice a week on Tuesdays and Fridays at 4 p.m. I'm gonna try my best. So I don't know when this video is going up, but I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.